All righty, I think we're live. Got some people coming in. Hi, Alan. Hey, Doughton. Catherine, Stacy, how we doing, guys? Thanks for joining the session here. All righty, hello from Tampa. Hello, Kathleen. Nicole. Fantastic. We'll give everyone a couple more seconds here, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Catherine, I'm putting on the vacation vibe because this is what freedom means to me. Is this beach right here? I don't have a margarita on me, but that's the only thing I'm missing. All righty. Hey, Cindy. Long time. All righty, cool. Let's go ahead and get started here, guys. Before we begin here, I do want to introduce myself real quick. For those who don't know me, my name is Kasey Cunningham. I am a senior account executive at Financial Sense, and I'm really honored to be able to share this specific session with you guys because it's one of the things that matters the most to me about the product. Because when you think about it, Financial Sense, our mission statement is to simplify how firms get work done and have fun while we do it. And there's no better way to simplify your work than automating things. So, what we're going to focus on in this session, guys, is I'm going to show you guys my top 5 favorite automation techniques in Financial Sense. If you guys implement this into your current workflow, it will inevitably save you hours a week and free up your time. Okay. So, what those 5 are going to be, the first one's going to be task automation. So, what are some of the things that we can do upon completing tasks? That's going to be the tags changing for the projects. It's going to be emails that can be triggered out to the clients, and it's going to be projects that can be created from that. Then we're going to dive into client auto reminders. And for those of you who already use Financial Sense, this is probably our most popular feature by far. This is the ability to automatically remind the clients who never remember to send us what we're asking for, which we all know we have a lot of those clients. The third is going to be project recurrences. How do we set up our projects to recur for the time periods we need them to recur in bulk? One key thing I'm going to show you for the recurrences is making changes to an actual recurring project, because once we make a change to the project, it can recur every time that project repeats in the future. The fourth one is going to be emails. This one might be cheating because I don't know if it's necessarily automation, but it's a very, very nice way to keep all of your emails organized so you guys don't have to go to different places to find what it is that you're talking about. The last piece is going to be recats. For those of you who haven't seen recats, I'm going to give a very quick demo of what that looks like for those bookkeepers who are constantly chasing down clients for them to categorize uncategorized transactions. After that, I'm going to do a Q&A session. We'll answer any questions that you guys have. Cool. So let's go ahead and get this show on the road, and let me share my screen with you here. So do me a favor, guys. If you can see my screen, just because this is my first time doing Air Meet, please put in the chat that you can see my screen where you see Financial Sense. Okay, brilliant. Thank you, guys. Cool. So like I mentioned, first thing we're going to discuss today is going to be task automations. So what we're looking at right now, guys, is our project workflow dashboard. This is the single source of truth for you guys to know everything that's going on at our firm. And obviously, this is going to be based on what I need to see as a staff member. So my different colleagues will have different views of this. This way, we're not being inundated with seeing projects or work we don't have to worry about. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go into a project here, whether it's, monthly bookkeeping for this client or tax return. I'm going to click into this tax return here. So first thing you're going to see is up at the top, I have my client tasks. I've asked my client for 3 things for this 1040 return. This client did one of them, but he's yet to do the others. And we'll get into that piece in just a bit. Below that, we're going to see our team task. So this is internally all of the tasks that we need to get done in order for us to finish a 1040 project, right? So you'll see here that next in line is preparing the tax return. I can see a due date for that task that can be automatically applied based on the rules I have when I'm creating the project. Right now, this prepared tax return task is assigned to me. The one after that goes to my reviewer, which is my colleague, George. But I'm going to come in here and I'm going to open up this prepare tax return task. And I'm going to scroll down past the description and the subtasks. Here we have our task automations. So you guys will see here, if I exit out of this project real quick, up at the top, if you guys see, it's the current status of the project is in preparation and waiting on client. That lets us know from a high level what the status is of each of those projects. Now, these tags are changing automatically as we're making progress on the project itself. So in this specific task, the way I've set this up is when I check off prepare tax return as done, we're going to go ahead and remove the tag that says in preparation, and we're going to add the tag that says in review, right? So if I exit out of this and I check off prepare tax return, you see that that status just changed to in review. So why does this matter? Well, for a couple reasons. Now I know what's going on with each project. But on top of that is we can easily create reports to find the statuses of all the projects that we're working on. So I'll show you an example here. I have a saved view that I saved called waiting on client. Right now, the way I have this view set up, it's showing me all of the projects we have where we're currently waiting on the client, which is a total of 30 projects, right? Maybe I want to show me all of my projects that are in review. Well, I selected in review. It shows me all of those projects that are currently tagged as in review. So it's a really nice way to easily find the statuses, what's going on. So you guys have that source of truth for everything at the firm. So the next task automation, okay? Emails triggered. This is my favorite single automation we have in the entire platform. What we can do with this is we can have the system trigger out an email to the client to say, hey, Mr. Customer, we are notifying you of this. Now we are working on XYZ. So in this scenario, when we check off prepare tax return, the client's going to get an email with whatever verbiage we want to tell them at that point in time, right? So I check this off. It sends the client an email with our company logo. The client's name is going to be pre-filled in, letting them know what we need to tell them. The reason why I love this so much is for really two reasons. One, this is going to add professionalism to your firm, okay? Our clients, it's going to look and feel like we're personally sending these emails to the clients, but it's something that we have the ability to automate. More importantly than that, our clients don't have to call us or email us and wonder what's going on with their particular project, right? We can let them know however often we need to so they don't have to blow us up. Now, you're not going to set this up on every single task because clients don't need to know every time we do something, but probably for the more important ones, we can just let them know what's going on. So that's emails that can trigger out to the client. Lastly, we can have the system create a project upon another project being done. I'm going to show you what that looks like here. I have a client here called Workflow Contest, right? Now, I have a client onboarding. I'm onboarding this new client. I'm up to the last task. Well, if I open this task up, you're going to see here, when this task is completed, we're going to create the monthly bookkeeping project automatically. So if I were to come in here and check this off as done, hooray, the project's finished. But now what it did on the back end is it went ahead and created the monthly bookkeeping project automatically, has the correct people who need to be assigned to it, the due dates, and now it's going to trigger an email to the client to let them know what we need from them. So that's the ability to create a project upon another project being completed. So that's the task automations, guys. The second automation I want to show you guys, like I mentioned, is the most popular one we have, and it is client auto reminders. I'm going to take us into this monthly bookkeeping project here. Now, I've asked my client for three things: bank statements, loan statements, credit card statements. He sent me his bank statements, but maybe he forgot to do the other things. So here's the bank statement. We can get notified. I open it up, and now I can see there's the bank statement the client sent me. Well, if we're doing a bunch of projects every month or annual returns, no one on planet Earth can remember everything that we're missing from a particular client. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to automatically remind them. So what we can do with that is if I open up this auto reminders, you see here that my rule is every 3 days, we're going to send the client an email of only the things that they've yet to do, right? So in this scenario, I've selected to be every 3 days. Well, if I preview this email, you'll see here, it's only including those tasks that the client's yet to do, not what they've already done. Our clients get confused easily. We try to make this as simple. We need to make it as simple as we possibly can, right? So this is going to trigger out the email until they've completed the entire list of what they need to do. This, again, will have our company logo. The client's name will be pre-filled in. All they have to do is click view and manage tasks. It takes them directly to that project request. They'll finish uploading what they need to. We will get notified internally when they've done that, and we can see those documents without having to leave the project. The goal here is, guys, is we're trying to keep everything that we possibly can in the system, so we don't have to have 5 different places to do things. Client auto reminders. The third thing I want to cover with you guys are project recurrences, right? And the ability to make changes to a project once we've created the project, and have those changes recur automatically. So I'm going to take you to my templates real quick, where I have all of our workflow templates for all the services we provide, right? Well, I have this monthly bookkeeping template. Here's the internal list of things we need to get done, who needs to be assigned to them, and then externally, what are we going to request from those clients? Huge thing to note here, guys. There is no such thing as a perfect template that works for every client. We know that. You guys need to have the ability to make changes easily on the fly. But if I were to come up here and create a project, I'm going to choose a template that I have. So I'm going to select the monthly bookkeeping project template here. Now, I can do this for many clients at the same time, or I can do it for one at a time. So if I have a client group called monthly bookkeeping clients, I can create this simultaneously for all of my monthly bookkeeping clients and have all of the settings automatically applied, right? But I'm going to hit back real quick, and I'm just going to create this for one client right now. So I'm going to say, who's the client? The client's going to be this client here, workflow contest. The start date for the project is going to be October 1st. The due date is going to be the 31st. Now, how often is this project going to repeat automatically? Well, this is a monthly bookkeeping, so we're probably going to say every month, right? If this was an annual return, every 12 months, or a bi-weekly payroll every 2 weeks. Or we can get more granular with it and say, I don't know, on the first Monday of every month, go ahead and recreate this project. I'm going to leave it as repeat every month for now, and I'm going to say the accounting period is going to be monthly, right? Before we create the project, we can choose an internal due date on it, or we can have an extension. A lot of firms, if they have tax returns, they can put the extension date on these, and that way in bulk, we can push those to the extension, right? I'm going to hit next, and the last thing I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to assign people to each of those roles within that project. And I'll show you again real quick for this monthly bookkeeping template. If I zoom in, you see I have an admin role, I have a bookkeeper role, and a reviewer role. This is where you guys are building your workflow. Who's going to be assigned what? When are the due dates going to be? So this way, in bulk, I can assign those staff members the roles they need to be. So when William completes his admin task, it goes to George. William doesn't have to message George and say, hey, George, it's your turn. George is going to have that pop up automatically on his dashboard. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to create the project. There you'll see everyone who's assigned to it, all the due dates, and then it's going to send the email to the clients, letting them know what we need from them, right? So if I come up here, a good example I like to use is reconcile accounts, right? Within reconcile accounts, I have a list of subtasks. Now, we created this from the template, but every client might look a little different. Maybe this client, we need to reconcile 30 accounts. Maybe another client's 3. So any change I come in here and make, if I came in here and say reconcile Chase account ending in 0044, now this project template is tailored to just this client. Well, on top of that, when this project recurs, which in this scenario is every month, it's going to recur with this client's unique project. So I don't have to go in every month and put all the accounts we need to reconcile. We just have to make the change one time, and it's going to occur going forward. So guys, that is a huge time-saving thing. It will not break the projects. We can make tweaks where we need to. On top of that, we can do the same thing with the client tasks. So I can come in here and say, let's securely request documents. And I'm going to say, maybe I know this client needs to upload bank statements, and I know that he uses Chase, Bank of America, so on and so forth. So now I've tailored that client list to just that client. So he knows exactly what he needs to send me every single month, right? So that's how we can create projects. We can make changes to them, and then projects in the future will recur that way. So the fourth automation I want to show you guys, I say quote unquote automation, but it's the email pinning. So you'll see here, if I click into this project, if I come over to client emails, well, I have my email thread with this client on this project pinned to the project, right? So I can come in here and I don't have to leave to go into my Outlook or Gmail to find what it is that we're looking for, right? Every time I need to respond to an email, I can come in here and I can reply directly to that email. If I am integrating with Outlook or Gmail, it's going to show up in both systems. It's a two-way sync. So how did I pin that to the project? On my email dashboard here, if I zoom into the top right, you guys are going to see by default, we're showing you client emails right now, right? This way we're filtering through the noise. I don't need to see every email I have right now. I only need to see emails that are coming from a client of mine. Below that, you see I've hooked up my inbox, whether it's my Gmail or my Outlook, we can hook up one or multiple inboxes. So I'm only seeing client emails and emails that are coming to my inbox. I can open an email up, I can reply to it directly in the system, or I can pin it to a project. So all I have to do is hit this little pin button. It's going to know who the client is automatically. In this case, it's Abdullah, but I can change it to Adeline Collins, and I'm going to select the project and I'm going to pin it there. Once I've pinned it there, anything that's been a part of the thread in the past, anything that's a part of the thread going forward is going to show up inside of here. So if I'm collaborating on this project with a coworker of mine, but this email thread is just with me and this client, if I've pinned it to the project, well, my coworker can come in here and see what that communication looks like, and they can pick up from where I left off. Huge time saving thing here, guys, because we want to keep everything organized again inside of the project. And last but not least is going to be recats. So for those of you who need to send out uncategorized transactions to clients for them to go in and update, right? Typically, people are doing this in an Excel spreadsheet and they're having to constantly chase clients down to finally get them to put what that transaction was for. So that's exactly what this feature was designed to fix. I'm going to click into my client, Adeline Collins here, and I'm going to go over to her transactions. These are transactions that are automatically being brought over from QuickBooks Online, right? I'm dictating which accounts I want to bring these transactions over from, however you guys want to call it. Maybe it's Ask Client. Maybe you call them uncategorized expenses. It's going to bring those in automatically. Well, on top of that, we can have auto reminders. So if clients forget to categorize any of them, we can remind them every 3 days, however often. I can control which of my contacts for that client get these email notifications, and internally, which of my staff members do I want to get notified when this particular client makes changes or updates those transactions. Another feature that we added in the last couple months is auto sharing the transactions. The reason why this is beneficial is because we essentially don't have to touch these ever. We can have the transactions brought over. We can have them shot out to the clients automatically, and then we can get notified when clients make the changes. So I can come in here and I can set up a rule to say, okay, every Monday, we're going to send these transactions out for the clients. This way, it's not going to blow them up every time a specific transaction is brought in. It will wait, and then every Monday, it's going to send it out. We have 3 different statuses here. We have ready for review. We have waiting on client. We have uncategorized. This means we haven't sent it yet. Waiting on clients means we're waiting on their response. Ready for review means the clients have sent it back. Okay. So to show you the client facing side real quick. So inside of the client's portal, I'm going to put in my verification code real quick. They're going to have one place to complete their project request, view their documents, and update those transactions if you haven't set up. So if they come over to the transactions piece, these are all the transactions they have to go in and update. It's sorted by the date. So they can come in here, and I'm going to choose this one at the bottom, and I'm going to say, what was this for? I purchased office supplies, and I can place a receipt or a statement for that specific transaction, right? Like I already did here. So I'm going to send this back to my bookkeeper for them to see. So then whoever internally needs to get notified will. If I refresh this page, I'm going to see that new transaction that just came in, It was this one for $53.98. It says I purchased office supplies. Here's the attachment, the receipt that they put part of it. Now, this was already categorized, but if it wasn't, I would come in here, I would categorize it. I'll say this is office supplies. The vendor or customer is Best Buy. I'm going to approve it. It's going to take it out of this view. It's going to push it over into QuickBooks Online automatically with the updated transaction. Simple as that. We can also come back and view approved transactions after the fact. No more chasing down clients for them to update transactions. We're automating that process as well. So I will pause there. Those are my five favorite automations in Financial Sense. And we'll pause and take any questions that anyone has. So let me get back to the air meet. Okay. There we go. We did it. Cool. So let's go through some questions in the Q&A here. Is there a way to attach document to auto emails? Yes, that is a good question. We can attach documents to auto emails if we're setting it up from the auto trigger that gets sent out to the client to begin with. If not, we would just have to go into that specific template and add that document beforehand. So that was Kathleen's question. Jody said for categorizing transactions, they can't use the expense accounts and classes. We can. I did not show that, but what we do have, let me go back to here. So if you were to click into the actual transaction detail, we do have classes and we do have tax codes that you can apply to those transactions. Can transactions be split in recats? They cannot be split yet. I believe that is something that we do plan on adding in the future to have them. So because it's coming in however it looked prior to in QuickBooks. When you push changes to a project, does it push to those that have already recurred? So in its current state, if the project has already recurred, it won't recur for a project that already exists. It will change for projects that don't already exist. That is on our product roadmap to be able to push changes to the entire to projects that already exist as well. So that is coming. Let's see. Kathleen said, is there a way to send an email to all my clients at the same time? We do not have a bulk email to send it to all of them at the same time. There is a workaround for that. However, if you're setting your email triggers to be set up for each specific task, all you have to do is go in there and check that client's task off, and then it sends that custom email to that particular person. All right, let's see. Is there a placeholder or token for saved emails, not auto emails, but email templates? That is from Dorothy. Dorothy, I'll get back to you on that. I'll get back to you on that after the fact because I want to understand what that question is a little bit better in depth. Callie said, for the emailing section, we had previously had issues with clients that have multiple companies that run under the same email. Is there a way to automatically differentiate which company we are referring to within the emails? Yes, because we can set up those clients. They can be a part of 5 different entities, right? And we can differentiate what are we requesting from this A entity versus B entity, right? And we can associate those contacts to that particular client itself. For the client-facing side, they will have one place to go to see all of those 5 different entities' documents as well as requests. So, question from Alain. Is this auto push to QBO available in Canada yet? Yes, it is available in Canada. We have a lot of Canadian clients who are on uncategorized transactions, the recats already. If you forward an email, does that forwarded email response stay inside that original email thread from Eileen? Yes, Eileen, it will stay inside of that email thread. Katie said, for a recap, will you be adding the option to create a new vendor or expense to push to QBO? So not quite sure on that. We do have vendors or customers already. Let me copy that question, and I'm gonna reach out to support, Katie, and we'll get you an answer on that. Can you send a request for this? Is from Jody. Can you send a request for documents they can reuse throughout the month? My client sends me their deposit tickets every week. I don't want to send a new request each time. Yes, you can send a request for documents they can reuse throughout the month. If they are uploading documents, they will live inside of that forever. They can pull it. We can also share documents with them as well. Inside of their profile, they'll have files and folders, and we can choose what are we sharing versus what are we storing for internal purposes. They can access that at any time. Yes, Jesse, we did just add the ability to add a history of transactions that clients have categorized. Once it's been approved, we can go back and view all the approved transactions as well. That was pushed out in the last couple weeks. Guys, I do want to launch, those are the majority of questions I think we have. I do want to launch a poll real quick for anyone who's interested in learning more and doing a more like one-on-one demo. So Doten, if you don't mind launching that poll, thank you very much. All righty. And we do have a couple minutes left, guys. So feel free to ask any questions that come in. If we don't get to them, I'm taking note of all of them, and I will follow up with you guys after the fact to make sure we get you those answers. All righty. If you guys haven't answered the poll, it'll be up for a couple more seconds here. And then we'll close it out. Guys, if you plan on attending tomorrow, I would highly recommend being there for the session. There's a big surprise coming. There's going to be a special live performance from someone. So you do not want to miss it. Make sure you're at the intro session. And maybe that special person is me. I don't know. We'll see. Jody says, is SC going to have an audit trail so admin can see who does what? We don't have an audit trail yet to see who's accessing that. That is something that we do plan on adding in the future, though. We do have a trash bin so we can go see like anything that was deleted, whether it's projects, tasks, clients, documents, things of that nature. So we can restore that if we wanted to. As far as audit trail, though, if like tasks are done, we can open up the task and we can see who it was that checked it off, and we can see when it was checked off, essentially. So we do have like audit trail in a sense of like the projects and tasks itself. All righty. Cool, guys. I saw Roxanne said lots of info. Hope to get this recording. I believe we can share the recording with you guys, or you guys can go back and view it at any point. Sorry, it was probably a lot of information, but I wanted to get through those 5 things because I think that each of them are super valuable and huge time savers for firms. So really enjoyed the session, guys. Appreciate the kind words. If anyone has any questions at all, do not hesitate to reach out. I'll go through the questions because there were a couple we didn't get through. We're here to help. We're here to answer any questions you have. And feel free to schedule sessions with us if you guys want a more one-on-one demo after the fact. So with that being said, it looks like our time is up. Appreciate it, guys, and look forward to speaking with you guys soon. Thanks so much.